Not in my lifetime, wasn't in my right mind. Somebody with a cool neck, you was so closing. Not in my lifetime, wasn't in my right mind. Somebody with a cool neck, you was so closing. Not in my lifetime, wasn't in my right mind. Somebody with a cool neck, you was so closing. Not in my lifetime, wasn't in my right mind.
Man, Camera Casino, can you hear me?
Yep, I'm in there.
There we go. All right. Waiting on my man Edub to log in. I don't have your video though.
Let me check this.
All right.
There we go.
Right. I got
All
you.
right, all right.
I got your video and your audio. There we go.
Cool. All right, E-Dub's in the house now, right?
I had to admit him. All right. Edub, you got your audio? Can you hear us? Edub.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, okay. All right, just waiting on my man Chris right now. And after that, we can go ahead and get this thing started. It's gonna be a nice little proper introduction or whatever for everybody to kind of introduce themselves, and then we just gonna get these questions rolling, man, and just have a nice little conversation. Chris, what's happening? Oh my God, boy, you gotta share that shit. What's happening?
Hey, what's up, Q?
What's going on with you, dog? How you living?
Oh, doing great.
That's what's up, man. All right, so like I am really excited about this or whatever. I got everybody on. I've worked with all of you guys in the past or whatever, so like this is a pretty big moment for me. This is welcome to frequently asked questions, where I ask a lot of questions to different people in different backgrounds and professions or whatever. You guys are the camera crew, so I was really excited to get a chance to talk to you guys, get everybody together or whatever. I've worked with you all in the past before, so I felt it was a good opportunity for me to get my first. You guys are my first group chat or whatever that I'm doing with this or whatever. So, and I know that all you guys are pretty knowledgeable with your cameras and everything like that. So I just wanted to bring all you guys together instead of just doing one person or whatever and kind of like picking a favorite. I mean, I fuck with all of you guys heavy. I mean, I worked with Chris down in Atlanta for my last shoot back last year. I worked with Edub a couple of times. He did a shoot for me. I think Kasino's been all over the place for me, from the Philippines to Thailand to even motherfucking Indonesia. So
How do I get that gig?
fuck, that motherfucker, the Kasino's retired. So, but yeah, man. So I want to start from west to east or whatever. Give everybody a little bit of chance, give a chance to introduce yourself or whatever, and stuff like that. So, Chris, we're gonna start with you since you coming out of the Atlanta, out of the East Coast time zone, and tell us who you from, who you are, where you from, and all that cool shit. And then we'll work to Edub in the Middle East and Kasino.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've been in Atlanta for over 40 years. I got into photography basically as a hobby when my kids were born. Just wanted to get some really good pictures. Got a really nice camera. Things have evolved. People ask me to shoot pictures for them. They saw me with a nice camera. Next thing you know, they're paying me to do it, and I'm like, you know what? I could make money doing this. And so eventually, I just kept reinvesting money that I'd earned in my photography and getting better equipment and gear. And it's kind of evolved from being just a hobby to being what I call a picture taker to being a photographer, where basically I'm studying lighting, studying the gear that I'm using, and basically maximizing my knowledge and my equipment. So it's progressed nicely. Like I said, I constantly look at videos, tutorials, trying to just basically make myself better and find new and creative ways in which to take pictures, because with cell phone technology improving the way it has, people can get pretty creative, with pictures, but so you have to so I'm having to find ways to separate myself from, or differentiate myself from, people who are taking nice pictures, and that involves just being creative with lighting, with framing pictures and finding locations, take pictures. So,
All
but
right, I got you. I don't want you to get too far ahead of us because that was one of my questions or whatever. So I
yeah,
kind of wanted to generalize that one with everybody, and everything like that. So we'll come back to that or whatever with
okay,
the phone cameras and everything like that. So
right.
like I said, we're gonna move from west to east. Starting we did you. Now we're gonna go to Edub.
What's up?
What's
I'm standing
happening?
out here right now in Abu Dhabi. I've been doing photography for over 30 years.
Hmm.
I got into it. Grandmother bought me a camera, my first 110. Some of y'all probably won't even remember 110 cameras.
It's 110 and 126.
Yeah. After that, just fell in love with it. Ended up getting 35 millimeter. My first one was a Yashica film, and everything took off from there.
That's what's
And
up.
really started loving it because you start meeting girls taking photos. What can you say?
That's one of the
Enough said. Enough said. All
There you
right, I've
go.
got my man Casino out here in Thailand or whatever. Talk to me, big dog. By the way,
What's good? What's good?
Casino's got his travel videos going on right now, and he's starting to take off with Chocolate Man in Thailand, and that link's going to be down in the link below after this video is launched or whatever. Matter of fact, everybody's info for where you are personally right now will be in the link below whenever the video is launched, just so that people in your respective areas will get an opportunity to hit you up if they're looking to still get like professional shots and everything done. So I'm gonna do that for you guys. But again, Casino Chocolate Man in Thailand, go ahead and talk to us.
All right, much appreciated, much appreciated. Appreciate the shout out for the channel there. Yeah, we are just taking off, get things going. But back to photography. All right. Yeah, just like Edub, I've been in it for a long time. I know about 110. It ain't that serious. Yeah, but never really took it serious until about 5 years ago. And that's when I actually picked up a real camera and started hanging out with cats like Edub and my boy RJ. And they started teaching me things. And that's always been the most important thing for me, is to learn from a mentor. But we can get into that later. But yeah, that's really the backstory. About the last 5 years, been learning how to shoot models, and I learned how to shoot some landscape, mess with some cars, and just got around there. And been loving that YouTube life, learning, never stopped learning. That's how it went.
That's what's up.
That's
That's
what's
what's
up.
up. Yeah. So real quick to get back to what Chris has started talking about. Like the entire landscape has completely changed as far as photography's professionals anyway, and what it once was, to where it is now. Because I can remember, when I was growing up, like if you wanted professional shots done outside of the little, wind up cameras that you had um, or whatever, like we didn't really have, nobody in my family had any professional, cameras or anything like that. So we went to Walmart or Kmart or wherever and got the little ones where you wind up or whatever till you hear the click and then you snap it or whatever, and you didn't know what the fuck the picture looked like until you went and picked the shit up from the drugstore or whoever developed the film and everything. But fast forward to now, well, let me stay in that time zone. So like I said, like even getting professional shots done back then, you went to Walmart or one of these other places or whatever where they had a little studio set up inside the thing or whatever, and the entire family got dressed up or whatever, and they took your pictures or whatever and told you to come back in a couple of days to pick up the actual the finished product. But now, like I said, fast forward to recently, in recent history, 10, 15 years even, um, cameras and phones have come to a lot of people's palms or whatever a lot more frequently. Like Chris was talking about earlier with camera phones and everything, and even just a lot more of the smaller cameras that a lot of people use. They aren't professional types like you guys use. I've seen some of your equipment, and oh my god, like I was with Casino one time when he spent a grip for a fucking lens, and even Edub. I remember when I was with you in where were we, in Dubai? There's a couple of times you got some shit that was just getting a fix or whatever. And they were saying like the prices of all of that shit. So I know that, but like right now, just just tell me how difficult it was. Well, Kasino, you only got in it 5 years ago, but these guys here said 30 and 40 years. So, just the transition period, like Chris and Edub, like, that transition period from where it was then and how it was where everybody wanted, a professional photographer to now where everybody is a photographer themselves. You know what I mean?
Everybody want to be a
Talking to me,
photographer.
right? Yeah.
Talking to everybody. Anybody want to answer?
All right, Chris, jump in first.
Yeah. Because back like when I first started, it was, I mean, like I said, this is like 15 years ago when my son was born.
Mm-hmm.
Technology really wasn't there in the digital form. It was still, I guess, I mean, it's always evolving, but back then you were really still kind of limited as far as with digital. You didn't have quite the tools we have now to operate, like I say, with software and filters and all that good stuff. You're kind of left basically to know a lot of things or to know how to use the software. And like a big thing too was lighting, because now I have a whole lighting setup I can, in a little suitcase, I can take with me and go anywhere. Yeah, that's what we had when we did our shoot.
Yeah.
But 10, 15 years ago, you had to have a battery pack and all that stuff. And I've been looking at thousands upon thousands of dollars to do what I did. And I only spent maybe what you saw with me there, $500 or $600 in lighting, which is still expensive, but it's a much, and it's portable, because back then we didn't have, it was on a battery pack. I mean, it's all self-contained. Back then you needed a battery and sometimes a generator in order to remotely. Yeah, now you don't have that problem anymore. And it's, but with that, it's still being creative with the lighting, because, I say with technology, with the way it is now, the cell phones and all that, lighting really separates what you're able to do. The lens technology now with autofocus, being able to get sharper pictures, and there's a lot of different options, because what's really helped me is being able to keep my daytime job. I work as an appraiser for Fulton County government. But it allows me to do my photography nights, weekends, and even sometimes during the day, it helps, but it's really tough still, I think, just to be a photographer on your own, without supplemental income, because it's to be really good at it, you need really good equipment, because you get to a point where your knowledge, you outgrow the equipment you have. And that's where I had gotten to. So I started spending thousands of dollars on lenses, getting a couple new cameras, because you have to differentiate yourself from people who are taking pictures with just regular cameras. And so, because there's always going to be somebody out there who's used the best, and it might be, and you sometimes get caught up rationalizing, what, I can get this really nice lens for $300, but this $1,000 lens is just a little bit better, but technically it's a lot better, because everybody will look at the pictures and say, wow, that's a really good picture. Where other guys say, oh, that's just a nice picture. So it's taken the time to, I've kind of digressed a little bit, but getting back to your original question, as far as where it's come from back in the day, it's digital has really made it easy, because I remember the shooting days, 110, 126 film. And like I said, you send your pictures off and you wouldn't know for a couple of days what you did. Now, you instantly know, and you can take thousands of pictures and it doesn't cost you any more than if you took 10 pictures, that's the beauty of digital. So that's really allows you to experiment more and find what works and what doesn't work. But that's pretty much where how I've evolved with it. And now, like I say, it's with technology, and what cameras can do now, it's overlap, you can shoot in almost pitch dark and still get really good pictures, because of the technologies there with the camera set, the sensors on the lenses and on the cameras and that stuff. But anyways, I probably kind of beat the dead horse now. So if anybody else wants to chime in,
Edub, we're gonna go to you.
on the technology, I remember my first digital camera was an Epson. It was a block camera about this big, and I don't remember it wasn't even megapixels. It was ridiculous, but I paid a good money on it, and then it came out with little lenses that go on top of it, make a wide angle and a zoom, and I went and spent money for that. And then Fuji Fine Pix came out with a camera. There's a little box about this. It came out with better picture. I think they were 2 megabytes. And I was like, oh man, this is good. You gotta have this. You gotta have this camera. Oh, this is gonna be incredible. And now you have your cell phone does 20 megapixels or whatever, nowadays. So yeah, technology is definitely taking over. Yeah, it's hard. One of the things you said, you gotta have unless you're really, really special, you got to have a regular job because you're not going to stay rich being a photographer these days.
Not at all.
Matter of fact, technology and making money and everything. I was in Hawaii, and I was with this Filipino girl. Went to her a wedding, and the wedding photographer in Kasino. You probably remember this when I told you about it. The wedding photographer was shooting the whole wedding with an iPad.
Oh God!
Okay. Believe it or not, I said, I got to see these pictures because I ain't never seen this done before. They hired this person because of the photos they seen on the website, and the person did it all with an iPad. Now, they took those pictures, and if you would have seen those pictures, you would have been like, no freaking way was this done with an iPad. But they worked magic with the pictures and with the software they did. I was like very impressed.
Wow.
Yeah, technology has come a long way.
Yeah, it makes it harder and harder to, like, say, for us to differentiate ourselves from. And that's why it's tough, because now people would just say, you know what? Somebody has a cell phone, takes good pictures of their cell phone. I'll just get them to shoot my wedding or shoot my portraits instead of.
And I tell them, go ahead, do that. I have no problem.
Exactly, because I'm not your market if that's what you're doing.
Yeah. And then when you later on in life, when you look back at your wedding photos done with a cell phone, you'll say, well, I can't go get married again and get those pictures redone. I should have probably hired a real photographer.
Right. And that's what I tell people, because, I put my prices up front, and if they can't afford me, then you know what, then I'm not what you're looking for. Because I think, my prices are in line with what I offer. And in fact, sometimes I get people who've seen my work and then see my prices and say, is that all? And I feel bad. And I'm like, damn it, I could have made some money, because you never want to, I think we get caught up as photographers. We get in other people's wallets because we think, at least me, I've done this, where you think, oh God, I'm charging $250 for, a 2-hour portrait session, maybe can't afford that, so you might go down and say, oh, it's only $150. And they're like, oh, is that it? And you never want to. So I just say, you know what? I just keep my prices they are. And when it makes it easy, I just send them a link. I have my price list. I don't even discuss prices with them. I just send it to them. And if they call me back, then it works. If not, no hard feelings. And
there you go.
But yeah, you never want to underprice yourself, because there is a market for you. It's just finding, for your prices or whatever. So yeah, never undersell yourself.
That's what's up. Well, of everybody here, I mean, my boy Kasino, he's out there, he's living a retired life or whatever. So he's not really, I don't know I can't say if he is or isn't, but I don't think he's looking to make money. He's just shooting to just fucking shoot or whatever, which is good shit. I mean, and like I said, he's done some shit for me or whatever that I'm glad about or whatever. You got anything to chime in about what they were talking about? I mean, Go ahead.
Yeah. That's where I really can't speak on the business side. I made a little money here and there. I still do shoots for a couple of bars and things like that, but it really isn't. I don't really consider that art, and that's what I got into photography for, was to kind of learn the art. Learn the skill of it, the lighting. The basics, the fundamentals that keep you good as a photographer. Because if you got those fundamentals, it really doesn't matter what you shoot with. You can make it work. On the business side, I get the whole marketing thing, and I understand the price thing, and I don't even get in that. I couldn't tell a photographer whether he's charges too much or too little at all. He could show me the greatest photos he doing, and I couldn't tell you how to price them. Not really my thing. So I'm glad for those. I'm glad these guys got advice on that. That's not really my area. But get out there and keep shooting. That's my thing.
Well, let me ask you guys this. So like of all the things that you shoot or whatever, because I've seen some shit from each one of you or whatever that's like had a different, background or whatever it was.
Yeah, we have
Like
what's called a look.
yeah. So what's your favorite thing to shoot? Like, is it like people? Is it like flowers or like animals or what's your what draws you to photography as far as what you're doing now? Like what keeps you going?
I can answer. Yeah, I love shooting. Even though there's no money in it, I really enjoy shooting like nature, like landscape shots, sunrises and sunsets, and anything that incorporates sunrise and sunset. I really enjoy that, and incorporating that with my portraits. But yeah, so because my kids, I drive them nuts because I'll be driving somewhere and I'll get a really nice view of a sunrise or sunset, and I'll just pull the car over and stop and take a picture. Usually it's with my cell phone because I don't usually carry my camera with me, and get really nice pictures. And I enjoy that. A lot of my stuff on my Instagram page is a lot of that stuff. I mean, I share some of my work, but a lot of it's that. That's stuff I would enjoy. But I like shooting events as well, because events are easy because you just go walk around with a camera and take people's pictures, and then if when you go to process them, if the picture didn't turn out, it didn't turn out, and you just go through it, and you make good money doing that. I mean, you make and you're there for 2 hours or 3 hours. I can make $400 or $500 shooting the event. Pictures are easy to process, and then you get to and I like interacting with people, and it's how you network too. So people ask for my card, so I'll get work that way. But it's a good way to, they say, to build my clients up, because everybody, because they'll see my work, and then next thing I know, I'm getting all these people asking me to shoot different things. But I've kind of, I know I'm kind of speaking a little bit too much, maybe overthinking the question, but yeah, those are the two things I really like shooting. Portraits are the easiest though, because you're basically on location and you're there, you're static, you're not having to move around, and you have as many times you need to take a shot and get it right. I mean, and then I guess I'm kind of speaking all the different things. Like if I go into weddings though, weddings are I really enjoy shooting weddings. That's the hardest work. And anybody who shot a wedding will tell you that's the hardest thing to do. Yeah, because you only have one opportunity to get it right, and it's there's nothing worse than when your stuff starts malfunctioning right before the bride walks in, and it's like you have to think on the fly, oh shoot, my flash just stopped working, what do I do, but when you do it, I mean, there's really good money being made in it, and if you and I enjoy capturing a different moment, so I like the challenge and the pressure of it. So but anyways, yeah, that's my long version of what I like to shoot.
All right, who's next? Kasino.
I'll jump in there. I like shooting models, and right now I'm getting more into travel photography because I'm liking to travel. So I'm trying to like capture the scenes, the essence of where I'm at the same time, get that feel, make people feel like they're there at the same time. So there's no money in it. I'm just enjoying it. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I know that, well, especially Kasino and Eric, like you guys have, like I said, traveled quite a bit. Kasino mostly through Asia and Eric throughout the Middle East. Matter of fact, all over the world, just doing different shoots or whatever. From my time of knowing you guys and everything, and COVID has kind of like really put a damper on a lot of movement and everything. So. I see you guys just making do with what you got or whatever. I've seen a lot of your recent stuff, Eric, and the same as Kasino or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like just learning about like all of the photography shit that's out there and everything like that. And like I said, with the cameras and the photography of the phones and everything like that, like it changes a lot. So yeah, Kasino, what you got?
Who, me?
Yeah, motherfucker.
Just kidding, man. Yeah, man. I like shooting the models. It's always cool. I don't get into the super theme shots like Eric does sometimes, but that can be fun too. But I'm too lazy to have wardrobe and hire makeup artists and all that. So I'm just a run and gun type of shooter. Give me a semi-attractive girl and take her out to the beach or the jungle or whatever, and we'll make it work. I shot a girl on a train in cosplay a little while ago, and sometimes they have their own themes, and I just shoot them. But yeah, it doesn't require, like you said, there's not a lot of pressure. Pretty much the only thing you're fighting is the light. You work with the light, get it right, and then shoot the girl, and that's it, man. I haven't shot any males. Not really looking to shoot any males, so yeah, pretty much it's just females and fun, man. And don't get the wrong idea. There's always like 5 or 6 people around. It's never a one-on-one thing, and it's a lot of fun, man. It's cool. You get some really beautiful shots, and they play well. They play well publicly because you make that model look at least 5 times greater than she really is. You really strive to create that fantasy that people want to see. Like, wow, man, that's a Victoria's Secret model or something, and you created that. Like, wow, that girl could be on the cover of a magazine. So that's the look I strive for.
Right. Gotcha. I got you. That's what's up. All right. So, like moving forward, like my next question is going to be, I think we discussed a little bit, or at least like in some talking points, like it's come up that photography right now, especially on the professional side, has been a bit expensive. If you really want the cameras and not just the phones and all of the Galaxies and all of the phones and everything, you really want to get the nice cameras and everything. So like, what should people expect as far as like prices? I mean, I don't know. Well, actually, I'm gonna take a step back. So what cameras do you guys use? Like I said, I work with all 3 of you. I don't remember exactly which cameras that you guys use or use when you work with me. I don't know if it's Fiji or Fuji or Canon or Nikon or whatever. So Edo looking around. But
See
yeah.
where all my cameras were.
So do you guys like use like a specific brand each, or is it like just okay, I like this one from this person or this group of people or whatever? And
I mean, I can speak. I shoot Canon, and that's how I started. My first, professional camera was a Canon Rebel XTI. It was $1,000 camera 15 years ago, and now, I've say with making money, I went from there to a 50D. Now I have a 5D Mark II, and then I'm a 5D Mark III, and then I have a 7D 2. And but it's more so. I mean, once you get to a certain point with a camera, the lenses are going to really differentiate you, and that's where you really spend your money. Because I had the same camera now for about 5 years, and it takes. I mean, brand new, it was a $3,500 camera, but it still takes great pictures. I mean, there's really not much more the other cameras can do. I mean, they maybe improve in lower light, but I've invested a lot of money in the last year or 2 in lenses. I've probably spent $4,000 or $5,000 in lenses, just upgrading what I have to, because you need to be able to shoot in low light, and it's different things that within the lenses. I mean, you have the f-stops, whatever to shoot, but I've switched to what's called a brand called Tamron, which they're like a secondary market for Canon. They do Nikon as well. They're pretty comparable to Canon for a little lower price, and they take amazing pictures. I mean, very great pictures. And so I've gone from a 15 millimeter super wide lens, 15 to 30, all the way up to 7200. I still do have my Canon 300 millimeter. I use that to shoot. I shoot sports sometimes, football and soccer, but I don't use that lens too much. But basically, I usually just stick with the 7200 and then I have a 24 to 70 that I shoot and get beautiful results with them. But you really do have to spend. I mean, each of those lenses were like about over $1,000, and you really, the joke is that if you want to make money in photography, sell your equipment, because it's expensive, but I call it an investment, because the results are, I mean, it basically makes you a much better photographer if you know what you're doing, because you get to a point where you basically, where the technology, your skills exceeded the technology. So you got to basically make sure you have stuff that's always going to match what you're able to do, you know, match your vision, match what you're trying to accomplish. You know, you never want to look at a picture and say somebody else's picture is better. You want to basically look at your picture and say, wow, you know, that's a nice looking picture. You know, and I've had, you know, and people I've shot, you know, I've shoot events and they'll see their pictures online and they're like they had this girl the other day. I shoot our high school alumni events, and she's telling me, she's like, man, you said your pictures are amazing. She said it's like looking at pictures in three. She said they're so clear, they look like they're in 3D. You know, and that's what you want to hear. You know,
What's up?
yeah. So that's always my goal. So I'm my worst critique. People look at my pictures, they love it, and, you know, and I'll look at it, and I do what's called pixel peeping. So I'll basically zoom very close and look at the detail. You know, and really what you want to look at, like the eyes, or you know, look at their eyes or the details in their face or whatever. And if they look good, then you know you've done, you know you've captured it. But that's I'm always like I say, critiquing myself and looking better. And that because people aren't good, most average eye is not going to see it, but as a photographer, I do. As long as I do that, then I know if I'm my worst critic, then I know that people are going to be happy with what I do.
Right. Edub.
Yeah, I'm shooting. I started out, like I said, with a Yashica. Then I moved into Canon. Been Canon for over probably 20 years. Then for me, I know you shooting Canon right now. Canon kind of lost their luxury there for a while. They didn't want to jump on the mirrorless.
Mirrorless, yes.
Yeah, it took them a while to pick up with that. And even when they did pick up, they still didn't pick up the technology. So I switched over to Sony.
Yeah,
so now
Sony.
so I got a Sony A7R2, and I just picked up the 4, and I got my little mini one that I carry around just to walk around the streets and everything else I was showing Kasino with. And this is the RX107. Great for like vlogging and everything else. Got the flip screen, all manual pretty much. So I love it.
Yeah, well, Canon's come out with their digital cameras they've come out with just in the last couple of months are amazing. But they were slow to join it. Yeah, Sony kind of took, everybody jumped on the A7, the 2s or whatever, the A7 3s or whatever. A7 III I think is the one that kind of differentiated them or made them stand out. But yeah, so Canon now is playing catch up, and so so a lot of people, a lot of people migrated over to Sony and went with that. It's just, I know the lenses are expensive for the Sonys. That's the kind of drawback. You know, I don't know if you were able to convert your Canon lenses over to Sony, or you just went ahead and converted completely.
Well, I converted for a while. I was using a Metabone. You put it on, you can still use your Canon lenses.
Yeah.
But eventually I just swapped all over to Sony lenses.
Yeah, you do compromise a little bit when you're having to use an adapter or whatever. So I know. Yes.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you got the 3, right? Kasino.
I'm sorry. Oh.
No, jump on in there, Kasino.
Yeah. I shoot A7 III in my expensive Sony lenses, but they work great. There's no superior autofocus system out there, so everybody's still playing catch up on that. It's all good, and it works great for me. It's been a battle axe. I've taken it all over the planet, used it for every kind of shooting you can imagine, and it's a great system. I love
it. That's what's up.
Go Sony.
So Sony, y'all getting some props right now on this nice video or whatever with these guys right here who talk about your products. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's an expensive hobby that a lot of people try to pick up and everything or whatever, but you guys have seemed to turn it into not just a hobby, but a profession in some regards or whatever. And again, like I said, for me, I appreciate each and every one of you for doing such a thing because, you know, I've worked with you guys, like I said, with Chris down in Atlanta, with Edub over in Dubai, and I've had some products from my clothing line that I've either handed Kasino myself personally, and he's taken it, you know, somewhere to a far off land like Indonesia or whatever, where I haven't been yet, and done a photo shoot for me, or down in Thailand or over in the Philippines or wherever. But yeah, I mean, you guys have kicked out a lot of good knowledge and everything. So like for the people who still want to be a photographer professionally or whatever, what do you recommend to them or whatever, like expectations or whatever? It sounds expensive as fuck. And I mean, like I said, I've been with.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Keep your day job.
Take up golf and spend twice as much money.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, though, I would recommend. I mean, make sure you know what your goals are with it, because honestly, because if you're just doing it as a hobby, don't spend a lot of money, because the technology is there that you can take really good pictures. You're not going to take the best pictures, but like I said, just know what your goals are. If this is your profession, then by all means, spend the money on it. But just, but like you said, make sure you keep your day job, because you can't start cold turkey, not have a job and do this, because it takes a while to build your brand, to build your clientele. Because especially with COVID, I saw a lot of my photographer friends who their business is completely dried up. They had weddings, people, they've lost thousands upon thousands of dollars. I mean, I'm in several photography groups, and I felt blessed that I had a daytime job that was still going to pay my bills and everything, because these people were desperate. I mean, all their work completely dried up, all the weddings, and they're trying to find ways to get money from the government or what have you, to pay their bills, and so, I mean, things have kind of gotten better a little bit, because now people have learned how to work within the pandemic COVID environment. But yeah, it was tough. I mean, I didn't have anything. I had like 2 weddings. I mean, they were $2,000 weddings. I had 2 of them cancel on me because of it. And I'm just like, it sucked, because I'd already kind of planned on money I was going to spend on my equipment or whatever, or do with money. But yeah, but if you're going to do it, take the time to learn, study. I mean, because I'm real cheap, and I'm very frugal, and I always there's so many different videos out on YouTube now. All I did was just watch YouTube videos of how to shoot in different lightings, how to use, your speed lights, in lieu of a strobe for a flash, if you're on a budget, and just learn how to basically get better and better with what you do. Because it's, that's the important thing. Know how to use the equipment that you have. Right. You don't have to go out and just buy the most expensive thing, but just learn how to use what you have. And you'll be fine. Like I say, and things will evolve. You'll find that, you'll start, as you get better, you can raise your prices, start making more money. You'll get more business, because word of mouth, especially with social media, people see your work and they want to hire you, and that's how it kind of worked for me. So, but that's my advice.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
No, it's good stuff, man. Good stuff.
That's what's up. Well, shit, man. If y'all don't have anything else, I mean, I appreciate you guys coming on Frequently Asked Questions. Like I said, my boy Q.G. You guys be sure to shoot me all of your info, as far as like emails or, links that you have to your own personal websites and everything like that. And I'll throw them in the description down below when I upload the video to YouTube. And for people in your respective areas, if they are still looking for professional photographers, I mean, hopefully they'll hit you guys up or whatever and get you guys some business and shit like that. So
we appreciate you, Kia.
Hey, man, I appreciate you too. I mean, like I said, you guys did some good work for me. So, I mean, this was, for me, this is still like the beginning of, doing a nice little show / podcast or whatever, and just trying to bring information to people out there who aren't really as skilled as they think they are, or whatever the case may be, or whatever. It might be some people out there that might think that they're more skilled than you guys or whatever. And that's what, that's up to them or whatever. But for me personally, I wanted to talk to a group of guys that I worked with myself in the past, and did some great work for me and with me and everything like that. Like I said, I didn't want to show favoritism to one person or the other or whatever, because I worked with all of you guys recently, you know what I mean? So it wasn't just like as recent as 2019. I mean, like I said, 2020 has kind of been like fucked up for everybody. But yeah, I mean, like just everything that you guys have done that I know that you guys can do or whatever, it's been really good for the photography community. And, you know, I'm pretty certain that there's people out there that would appreciate your advice and your information and everything like that. So probably some people that are looking for you in certain areas and things like that as well. So hopefully they'll contact you through this video, and you know, you get you guys some business and everything like that. Keep everything going.
Beans. Appreciate it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, dog.
Word up, Q. Good stuff, lad.
Right. Kasino, I'm gonna get with you later or whatever. We're probably gonna do a whole video about your chocolate command in Thailand thing and everything, but that's further down the line. Nice little traveling video for retirement life and everything like that. So you guys have a good day, and you know, Chris, you have a good morning since you're in Atlanta.
Yes.
Edub, Middle East.
ATL.
Nice meeting you, Chris.
Same here. Great talking with y'all.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Deuce.
Catch y'all later, fellas.
All right.
One.